Hey, this is Professor Homa. Welcome to part 4, our last part of our WD06 research paper exercise. And let me just check my instructions here. And here's the instructions in PDF format. And what we have to do is basically we managed all our sources, we entered all our source information. Now we're just going to insert the citation in your paper. And you can see this stuff is easy. This won't take long at all. Highlight, remove blue text, insert citation from the References tab. And there should be 4 throughout the paper. So this should be pretty easy. So we're going to go back in here. And the Thomas Bolt one is here. And what I'm going to do is just try to highlight this as best I can. And again, remove the brackets as well. And if you have to use your cursor to backspace. But this citation is going to be inside your period and after the quote with a space. So I'm going to go to my Insert Citation. I'm just going to put in the Thomas Bolt citation. And there it is. And if it's blue, highlight everything and just make sure it's not blue. It'll be black. It won't be anything else, so just make sure we go over here and make it black. So even if you highlight over stuff that's already there. So that's our in-text citation. You can see you can actually go and edit it. So it's a special, so if you have to edit anything in here, you can go back and change it. So these are kind of linked to our sources. Here's our Liza Brown. So I'm just going to highlight this and wipe this out and put a period if I accidentally took that out. And right before that period, I'm just going to insert my citation from References. And I'll go to Insert Citation. I'll put Liza Brown in there. And if anything is blue, I'll just highlight. You can always highlight your whole paper. Control A and make it all blue. But I'll go back here and make sure that's black as well. So that's 2. Here's another one. Here's the Bolt one again. So I'll just backspace this stuff. Make sure that you have your space. And make sure you have a period in here. So if you have to zoom in a little bit, which I should probably do here, I'll zoom in here and make sure I'm seeing the right thing. So I'm going to go right before that period right here, and I think I got it. And I don't use 2 spaces after a period, and it's not usually recommended in modern typography, but check with your instructor and check with your MLA 8. It's typically not required to put 2 spaces because it doesn't need it, but I would double check and always ask about that. So anyway, I'm going to insert. This is the one for, I forget which one this is. I think this was another Thomas Bolt. And just make sure I just highlight everything and make sure it's black. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit more and go down to the bottom of my page. And I think the last one I have here is DIY. So I'm going to highlight this, and actually I'm just going to delete that. And make sure I go to References and insert the new one, which is the DIY editor. Make sure I put a period at the end, and then make sure that I make all this stuff black. Doesn't hurt to make sure the returns are black. And doesn't make you know what? I could do Control A. If you're not sure, do Control A and make everything black. Then you don't got to worry about it. All right, now it says insert a page break. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to highlight this and insert a page break right over it. So I want to get rid of this text. So I want to go to, so make sure you highlight this where it says insert page break, and then go to insert and find insert page break. So here's pages, and they have page break through there. If you're on a Mac, you might have like a menu that says insert and page break. So we're going to insert page break, and you can see what a page break does. It creates a page break. There it is. If you ever want to remove it, you could highlight it and delete it. But it breaks you to another page without hitting return a bunch of times. And right here, this is where I'm going to put my bibliography. So I'm going to click right here in front of this return that's on the next page. I'm on page 4. And I'm going to go to References, and I'm going to say Insert Bibliography, and I'm going to choose Works Cited. And what it'll do, and I'm going to close this, what it'll do is put in Works Cited in alphabetical order. Unfortunately, it won't format it right. I have no idea why it does not format it right, but it puts it in blue. They're all together. It does put the hanging indent. There's the half-inch indent. But what you want to do is highlight this stuff right to here. Or you could probably go in here and do a Control A, I believe. That way you'll get anything. Make sure you're in there. Don't get your whole paper. But oh wait, I am getting my whole paper. So make sure maybe start here and work your way down. And make sure that you're doing that. And this is just formatting because it's all done at this point. Just make sure that everything is Times New Roman. Make sure that everything's black because there is some blue in there. Make sure that everything is 12 point because it's making that Works Cited bigger. And what's missing? It's not double spaced. So make sure this is double spaced. So you just have to go back and do that. I mean, it took, 30 seconds to do that. One other thing, this should be centered. So you have to do manually. I don't know why Word does that like that. And if you ever had to make changes, it will update things automatically. So it's actually a nice tool to have that it's all linked together. So if you figured out, if you added another source or you screwed something up, the only problem is sometimes it remakes the bibliography and it puts it in that weird formatting again. Now you can see that it puts titles in italic. It does everything that you need here. It puts your URLs with the brackets. So everything should be okay. So your paper should be done. There shouldn't be any border on it. If you click off it, you shouldn't see anything once you click off it. So everything should be okay, and you should be able to save everything. You could, if you want to spell check or do anything like that, but just make sure everything's formatted. You have your 1-inch margins, you have your headers, and this one, I don't think I did it. I think on the first video I might have, the older video, but if you needed to take away this the header footer here, remember they do have a different first page thing. You could just uncheck that, and that's all you need to do. Different first page, or if you had to, you could go into layout, and I think under page setup or somewhere they have another. Let me just double check. Custom margins, I think they have a place under layout that says different first page. So there is 2 places to do that. I'll cancel out. I did that, but it's easier just to double click in your header, and they have a little go in here, and this is where they had a place to do it. If you need to go back, you could uncheck it and it'll go back, but I'll check it here and put different first page. That means it won't be on the first page, it'll be on page 2 and page 3 and page 4, including your bibliography. So I think we're done. So that's part 4 of this. Hopefully that wasn't too bad with our new references that we had in here. So good luck with that, and then just upload it and send it in like you would normally.